Hey, brothers and sisters. Okay, so I'm gonna try to be quick here. 10 minutes, and I realize it goes quick. And in that 10 minutes, today's is gonna be the start of bridging the gap between the world and spiritual. And so what we're gonna start off with is what many of us or most of us have seen is the Karate Kid. So we watched the Karate Kid, and there's so much depth in it. Sometimes, I don't know, I feel like we don't chew on it and digest and see all the things that are there. Mr. Miyagi, the old guy, right? In the movie, he's a representation of God. And the Karate Kid is you. See, you got the Karate Kid going around life. He just moved and he gets a new place. He's already struggling. He's just down bad. And then immediately runs into some guys and has some problems. And they're trying to beat him up and jump him. And he wants to start learning how to fight because he's just tired. He's tired. He's like, nothing's changing. If I don't get power, nothing's going to change, It's just that simple. Like, if I don't change, nothing will change. And so he knows that there's a need for change. And he knows power is going to be the core root of what he needs. And in that, he starts trying to figure out how to train and work out and everything, but he can't figure it out. And he's doing it, but he's like, I'm not progressing how I want. I'm not getting what I want. I'm not excelling as I need. This is too slow, and I'm doomed almost. And he's getting ready to get jumped, and he's running. He's running. He's dipping, and they're trying to jump him. And he gets to the fence, and he's trying to climb over the fence, and they grab him out of nowhere. This is where God comes in. Mr. Miyagi just comes out of nowhere. He's thinking Mr. Miyagi's just some old dude, and it's like, yeah, you're kind of old and slow and weird. You do this like tree trimming thing for a hobby, like you're quiet, nothing special. And then out of nowhere, boom, Mr. Miyagi jumps over the fence, helps and beats up all the kids and defends them pretty much and protects the Karate Kid. And in that, the revelation instantly hits. Karate Kid realizes, wait, there's way more than what meets the eye with this guy, aka Mr. Miyagi, aka God. There's way more. And from there, once that moment happened and he saw Mr. Miyagi had power, the very power that he was longing for this whole time but knew not how to get there, he's drawn to Mr. Miyagi. He's like, what was that? Who are you? I want to know you. I want to learn from you. Take me under your wing. Teach me. Show me. Because you have what I need. It is that deep. It's not just the want. It is literally Mr. Miyagi has what he needs. He already knows he needs power. The Karate Kid at least got that far. He's like, I need power. It's that simple. And he knows with the utmost certainty Mr. Miyagi has it, aka God. So he goes to God. He's like, God, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Just train me up. Is that not what the Karate Kid does with Mr. Miyagi? He goes up to him and he's like, Mr. Miyagi, you have something, and you clearly have it. I've watched it, you demonstrate it, and you shown you have fighting skills and technique and things beyond what I understand. Because how can an old dude just beat up all these guys by himself? Your ways are greater than mine. I submit. Teach me. Show me whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Just please train me. And so here Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid come in agreement. And Mr. Miyagi's like, okay, I'll train you on one condition. You do whatever I tell you. True servanthood, true obedience, true slave to Christ, you could say. You're going under and you're submitting. You're realizing he is the Father, he is the leader, he's the Most High, he's the one in position of authority and power. I submit. Your will be done. What do you want me to do? That's the agreement they come to. They're like, yes. Karate Kid, he understands it. He processes it. He doesn't fully digest and or even really start chewing. He just knows how much he needs power. It's a no-brainer in his mind. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Even though he doesn't fully understand what it's going to take. And that's where the Lord tells you to count the cost. A lot of us, we do know we need it, but we jump in, we don't count the cost. And then in that can cause you to be hesitant. And in that of being hesitant, you might, put your hands to the plow and start pushing and then look back. And God says, anybody that puts their hands to the plow and looks back is unworthy. So that's where that count the cost is, when God's telling us to count the cost. Understand the measure of what you're asking for and what I may very well ask back for you. And so anyhow, we get back to the Karate Kid and he's like, all right, yeah, I'm going to do whatever you want. Just you got to train me. You got to give me that power. You got to teach me to do whatever it is that you just showed me that you can do, because I want to be able to do that. And all right, so then he's rolling on. Right after that agreement and that pact and that vow and that declaration of we're coming into a commitment with each other, immediately tested right off the bat. And Mr. Miyagi knew what he was doing. He knew for certain what he was doing. He's like, all right, sand my floors, wax my cars, and paint my fences. And immediately you can even see the pondering on the Karate Kid's face, like, what? Time out. This is not what I asked for. I wanted you to train me in learning how to fight, mixed martial arts, karate, however you want to look. I want power. That's the core root. You have power. I need power. I'm getting attacked. I'm tired of being defeated. I want power. That's what we agreed. You could see him ponder all of that. But in it, he realizes, I did just get my word that I'll do whatever he asks. He's like, all right. And he starts doing it. He starts waxing the car, sanding the floors, painting the fences. And even after he gets done painting the fences, it's to paint the house. So he has work to do, and he's doing it. And as this is going, it's beyond him. Undoubtedly, you got to understand, once again, Mr. Miyagi's the representation of God here. God knows full well that the Karate Kid does not understand. He could have been like, do all these, paint the fences, sand the floors, wax the car, because this is going to help translate and emulate into your fighting skills and your stances and your attacks and techniques. He could have elaborated and articulated and expressed and revealed to him how this is applicable, how this will be used for good in what you exactly asked for. He doesn't do any of that. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't tell him anything. He just tells him, do this. That the test, right off the bat, it started. And so then in that, he's having, low-key, the Karate Kid's having faith. And he's being obedient, even though he doesn't understand. He's doing it, and as that goes, though, one day, Mr. Miyagi, he's coming back, and the Karate Kid's already been doing it. He's been faithful. He's been consistent. But as that goes, one day he comes out, and he sees Mr. Miyagi went fishing. And he's like, bro, you going fishing while I'm doing everything? He finally snaps. All along, that was the pondering, before he even started working, the curiosity of why am I doing this was, before he even started working, that was already there. It had been in him. But he refrained from saying it or expressing it or sharing. He was just like trying to be faithful and obedient. But on that day when he's seeing him like fish, he's like, man, you're doing all this. This is crap. Whatever, you're exploiting me. You're using me. You're manipulating me. And all of that seemed to be true in what he believed. But the truth of that, remember, Mr. Miyagi is the representation of God in this. It was all love. It was all a building up of more just the physical, but also the spiritual, showing like, hey, sometimes in life things are going to happen that you don't understand why, but you got to keep pressing forward and hope that it will work out. You got to rely on God's word. You got to trust that he'll work all things out for the good of those who love him. And you got to trust that I didn't get this power coincidentally, that I got strong coincidentally. I went through the fire. I've been tested. I've been through it. It's hard. Yeah, you're going to have to go when you can't see. You got to have faith, because that's exactly it. It's not by sight. So Mr. Miyagi's blessing this kid in so many ways the kid doesn't even understand. But the kid's snapping on just the simplicity of, you had agreed to teach me karate, and yet you're not. So then finally he lets loose, and he's like, whatever, man, this is whack. You're using me, and that's it. You're just a whack old man. I don't care. I'm done with this. And he snaps. And in that's when Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid's walking away. Mr. Miyagi calls him. He's like, come here. And then he expresses and he shows, and he has the Karate Kid receive the revelation of, this was not in vain, son. Everything I was using you for, teaching you, having you do when you couldn't see and understand, none of it was in vain. And it was everything you had actually asked for and more, because you were learning about other aspects of being faithful when you can't see, faithful when you have little, faithful when you don't understand. And so that's really the depth of Mr. Miyagi and Karate Kid in that movie, and things that they're trying to show in that is that it's going to be used, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're seeing, and how the scene doesn't line up with what you know. That's all right. Have faith, stand firm, keep painting the fences, keep sanding the floors, keep waxing the car, because one day you'll know and you'll be thankful. And trust God has the utmost pure and best intentions. It's going to be hard. The enemy's going to try to get you, to tempt you to doubt and hate and resent and call God what he's not. But that's all the more reason why you got to hold for him. And that's why he's giving us movies like this that no, we can trust him in that season. Have a blessed one.